never laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease, and pus pours out like melted cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in, the worms that crawl in are lean and thin, the ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your hair falls out. Your brain turns into maggot pie, your liver starts to liquefy, and for the living all is well as you sink further into hell. And the flames rise up to drag you down into the fire where you will drown. Your skin melts off as you descend, and Satan tears you limb from limb. Your suffering will never end. And the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. They'll eat your guts and then shit them out. And when your bones begin to rot, the worms remain, but you do not. So don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for someday you'll be the one to die. And when death brings his cold despair, ask yourself, will anyone care? Don't ever laugh as a hearse goes by, for you may be the next to die. They wrap you up in bloody sheets to drop you 6 feet underneath. They put you in a pine wood box and cover you up with dirt and rocks. It all goes well for about a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your
Don't worry, guys. We'll be getting started here shortly. And soon, the games will begin.
A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns to rancid grease, and pus pours out like melted cheese. You spread it on a slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in, the worms that crawl in are lean and thin, the ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your
It appears that JG has some new toys to play with prior to his new stream deck coming, one of which being able to mod my voice. Welcome! So my voice doesn't sound like Jigsaw's. Really, what does it sound like to you then? Enlighten me! Never die. Make your choice. Oh, who is trying to call? Let me calm that down. Alright, there we go. Sound good. Making sure what that was about. Alright, there we go. I mean, how are you guys liking the voice? Do you like it? Or should I change some things up for you? Let me see what else we got here. Do you like that one instead? Well, actually, you know what? Let me go back to the so-called jigsaw voice and add the ambient effects. You don't like voice, Devin? It seems that we may have to have you play a game. Not sure what game, but you may play a game. I could get into that. I could definitely get into that. Although I would have to go back and check it out to see if it sounds like that, because it's got the jigsaw face on it, so.
You turn that off real quick. But how you guys doing today? How you doing? What else do I have on here?
Dark voice? What voice do you want me to say it in, Devin? Because I got a couple of voices here that, and essentially, I don't know what ones I could possibly do. And supposedly this is supposed to sound like Thanos. Demonic voice? Let me see if I got one. I mean, technically, that's kind of supposed to sound like one. Evil. How about that? Does that sound like it should? You sound like Pazuzu? Really? What does that sound like? I'm like going through all these voices, and all of them sound like potentially funny as shit. Let me try with this voice, Devin. Dream, you fools. Your god has turned his back on you. That's why my tracks still push me forward. Does that sound good for you? Oh, there's like so many. There's so many to choose from.
Oh, man. Just checking to see who all we got in. Oh, I realize I'm in top chat. Let me go to live chat real quick here. All right. So I see we got Devin, Nicholas, Anthony. How you doing? We got Joanna. How you doing? Ty, welcome back. One of the funnier things I do have with this is pretty much like if I ever want to go on a fucking tangent or anything, or I guess I should say if I ever want to go on a tangent, then I can always censor myself. Hey, what's going on, Teriyaki? How you doing? All right, we are just doing very, 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 very and getting ready to get into things a bit. Oh, man. Where am I from? I am from the U.S. Baltimore, Maryland, to be more specific, although I do now live in Pennsylvania. If you know where that is in the US, I mean, that's getting specific. Oh, but I'm like loving this. Definitely something I'm going to be playing with for a little bit. But alright, yeah, today we're going to be doing the final Evil Dead series commentary. Overall, we're going to be doing that final commentary, watching the final Fede Alvarez film. So I'm going to give a couple more minutes to pretty much get all your stuff together. And then we will begin. I believe we are about 11 and a half minutes into the stream. And then we will jump over to commentary part. And we'll get into it. We're going to give it like another 5-10 minutes or so. I keep looking at this. So I'm losing train of thought. So I'm like skipping ahead. Like, wait a minute. What the fuck? That didn't even make sense. Oh, yeah, Ty. Oh, yeah. Definitely. You were wondering what the difference between the original Necronomicon and the Necronomicon from this movie is? Ultimately, the original Necronomicon dealt in Sumerian burial rites and demon resurrection passages. This one doesn't really specify what it delves into, but there is a very distinct difference between the demons they conjure. Primarily, the way the demons possess you is one of the big differences. And there's a few other ones. As we watch the movie, you'll end up seeing. All right. Let me jump over to the commentary track while we're waiting for everyone else to jump in, get on board.
Jump back over. Yeah, I can do the whole commentary like this. If you want. I can kind of do like play by play.
Like, yeah, like pretty much here. What does that sound like? And I can create my own voices. I can't wait to get my stream deck. I'm going to be putting all of these things like on there. That's going to be insane. That's going to be such a useful tool. Wonder what it sounds like with that voice if you fart into it. Oh, it could be some very, very scary shit. If I can also alter this voice, the main voice. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's give me one moment. I'll be right back. I'm going to just check something real quick, grab me a drink, and we'll get started into the movie once I get back. Anybody comes in, tell them what we're doing, and make sure they got their shit together. So that way we can just get started. We're not waiting for anybody. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so it looks like we should be good to begin now. I think we've given everybody more than enough time to jump in here. Which let me pull up everything that I need to pull up. There we go there. All right. So let me make sure I don't have the voice on. That'd be weird to do the entire commentary with that. All right, let me turn off that. Let me get over to my commentary track. And let's begin. So the way this is going to work, we're going to be watching the 2013 Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead. So assuming that you guys have your copies at the ready, we're going to be jumping in and getting ready to get started. Hey, what's going on, Abbo? How you doing? Welcome. We're just getting ready to get started with the commentary. For those that haven't joined before, that are watching on different platforms, the way this will work is you will have your copy of the movie, whether you're watching it digitally or on DVD, Blu-ray, or for some reason that you're watching it on VHS at this day and age. What's going on, Chuck? I'm going to give a countdown starting from 5. Once we hit 1, we're going to say play. When I say play, you'll hit play. We'll hit play together, and hopefully our copy should be in sync enough. So if I make mention of something on screen, should happen, give or take a millisecond here or there on your screen as well. So it should make some sense unless you're watching a different copy than mine, maybe a director's cut, producer's cut, whatever have you. I don't think that there is a director's cut or unrated cut of this. I don't think so, but possibly. Nicholas says, I like this movie. I was surprised on how good it was. It was entertaining. It was good. But much like when even me and Paris were talking last night about it, it's good, but it's not a good Evil Dead movie. It should have existed alongside maybe in that same universe, but it shouldn't have been the same thing without being closer to the original that it was trying to be a sequel of. I didn't mind that they tried to do a sequel to part 1. I don't mind that at all. My issue was the Deadites were completely different. There were no similarities between them. There were callbacks, but there were no similarities at all. Giving them blood, making their blood the source of infection, where you get demonically possessed, was kind of weird. This is not a episode or season, Abbo. This is the final movie that they made prior to Ash vs. the Evil Dead. This is Fede Alvarez's movie from 2013. But all right, we're about to get started here. Let's jump into it, and we will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Let the games begin. As we come to the TriStar logo. Good. I'd be afraid of heights there for a second. Oh, the door shut by itself. This is all the intro stuff.
And here we have a girl walking through the woods, surrounded by fog, in a very creepy situation. Maybe, you never know. I mean, the sequels, like I said, they're depending on what you're looking for. Whether you're looking for a horror comedy or a mixture of both. Like Evil Dead 2 is kind of the middle ground of that. This is trying to go full blown back to horror, which I can appreciate. But you wonder if the old woman is that's where they got the whole Brujo idea with Pablo. And it's like, why, if it's supposed to be the same book, why are the pages even different? And who wrote all of this shit in the book? Like the extra shit. Hey, what's going on, Harley? How you doing? Why doesn't the book burn when it was in fire? That's a good question, too. Unless for some reason when the book reconstituted itself, it gave itself maybe immunity to something like that. Like, I honestly want to know more about the old lady. See, what would have been a better callback to the original Evil Dead there would have been while she's burning for her to do what Shelly did. Like, no, don't burn her. You love her. You love her. And like her screaming that instead of just screaming all kinds of obscenities and all kinds of shit like, hey, fuck you and fuck your mother type shit. That's kind of the way they're going with some of the Deadites. When there could have been a very, very well put certain Easter eggs and even callbacks, like there. Like again, like ultimately doing it where it's pretty much mimicking Shelley to a degree. But it's like they're kind of going for shock and awe in this. Burn the bitch. I just think of Ash from the last episode with Ruby. Like, ooh, I'm melting, I'm melting. Fuck off, bitch. But it's also like, when did fire become something that kills Deadites too? Because I do know in the tape recorder, it's through the act of bodily dismemberment that the Deadites get killed. So when did... Oh, I never noticed that. Them coming to... I never noticed that until I had the headphones on. When they pull up, you can hear "Join Us." That's a nice touch. But isn't the shed on the other side? Maybe I gotta watch the original Evil Dead again, because I could have swore if this was a sequel to maybe maybe they moved the shed, but I thought I could have swore the shed was on the other side. Not to mention whatever would have happened to the but I guess the other family that's there. Because I mean, there's the Delta, but I kind of want to know the story about the family that was there prior. Like, I wouldn't mind Fede Alvarez giving us like maybe a short movie or even a movie based on like what happened with the family prior to give us some of the answers that we're seeking. Like, why does the book look different? Where is the Nobi tape recorder? You know, a bunch of things that could clear up, because I feel like we're missing an entire movie between this and the first one. That I think is a major problem. I mean, at least like it looks similar to the magnifying glass that Ash was going to give Linda, but it's not. It's just shaped the same. So at least we have that. Like, it's sort of like kind of a callback, but not really. Like, us visually as Evil Dead fans know what that is or what that represents, but it's not really the same thing. Now, would have been some shit like she threw the drugs into the well, and none of the demon shit happened. It just happened in the flashback, but she threw her drugs in the fucking well, the water supply, and everyone was like fucking getting drinks of water and shit and just were getting high. Like, this whole movie's just a massive fucking trip. I'm like still very interested though. Like, what happened to the family? That I think would explain so much. Like, I mean, if they were to do, like, we have Evil Dead and now we have this Evil Dead. If they were to go back, I think doing the reboot that Sam and them want to do, unless they're continuing the series with Bruce, which Bruce does not want to do, he just wants to produce, and he wants to reboot the series. I think you don't necessarily have to. You just got to kind of give us a story between this and the first movie to kind of make sense of this. And then we can go forward with a sequel after this with Mia again. Because I think the biggest drawbacks of this movie is ultimately the shit that we don't know. Like, why is the book... Why does it look different? Why is it flame retardant? Why is it, why are the Deadites different? Why are the pages different? Like, all of this stuff could be answered in one movie that they could give us, and we could probably accept it to a degree. But we would need to know what happens to the family leading up to the girl being killed in the basement. Like, this is one instance, like, normally with prequels, I don't typically like, because I feel like we know where things are leading up to. But I think in this particular case, there's so many unanswered questions that could be answered in a prequel here Not to over explain everything, because you don't need everything over explained, but ultimately, if you're going to show us a vast difference between this and the first movie, then there has to be some sort of reason. Otherwise, it just becomes very much very jarring to the typical Evil Dead fan. Because for the most part, we took it as this was a remake. This was a remake of the first film that pretty much was just retelling the same story that we got from the original Evil Dead. And then after interviews with Fede Alvarez, him saying that now this is a sequel to the first Evil Dead, treating Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and even though Ash vs. Evil Dead came out later on, treating all of them like they never happened. This is a new Evil Dead 2, to a degree. But it's like everything that was established in the first film has changed so drastically here that I feel like we need a movie to explain why that is. Why are the Deadites now only able to possess you through blood transmission and stuff like that? Blood or fluid transmission. So this movie is like the Blumhouse version of Halloween 2018. Yes and no. Where Blumhouse's Halloween 2018, they tailor-made their movie to fit as a Halloween sequel, even though 40 years passed in between. We know there's little to no discrepancies between Halloween and Halloween 2018. Here, it's in theory supposed to be like that, but there's a lot of key differences that seem to go against it. So it's like, is it really? Because like I said, with the book difference, and like it was even mentioned, like the book not being able to be burned and stuff like that. The pages are different. The ritual of the Deadites being there is different. Like, it never said in any of the Nobi tape recordings that he translated that it was going to be, I need these sacrifices, and then it calls forth the abomination and so forth. To me, it kind of seems like it's almost an entirely different book in altogether. This really doesn't fit as a sequel to the first Evil Dead. It could, really. But there's, the way you would have to do it is you have to go back, like I said, we have to go back to another movie prior to this with the family prior and give us a movie that explains why the book looks different, why the Deadites act differently, and pretty much why the pages have changed. Hey, what's going on, Matt? You say you're watching on Twitch, but it keeps refreshing. I know a lot of people that have that issue. I was having that issue watching some people on Twitch too. But are you following me on Twitch? Or did you just happen to jump over there? One of us in the voice thing? Hold on.
Harley, you are one of us. There is no choice.
I do it for you, Devin. What's Twitch? I'm about to say, what's Twitch? Twitch is another streaming platform, which I am also streaming on simultaneously as with here. Have really no reason to, because I mean, if I do for some reason make it to Twitch affiliate, they tend to try to exclusively lock down their streamers. I am already a partner on YouTube, so I have no real reason to really become an affiliate or partner on Twitch outside of just getting things monetized on there and maybe doing exclusive streams on Twitch. Same thing with Mixer. But, you know, it's good to have options. I had to share them with you, Matt. How did I do that voice? I have I preemptively bought a voice modifier to go with my Stream Deck that's going to be coming tomorrow. Stream Deck is going to be sort of like a pad that allows me to pretty much set keys. So if I want to do particular voices, I can just hit it instead of going to a browser and putting it on there. It makes things a whole lot easier. Being able to switch scenes on my OBS with a touch of a button, especially when I'm playing Dead by Daylight, I don't have to tab out of the screen and able to do other things. Just essentially makes things all around far, far easier. Plus, once I get some new lighting that's compatible with my Stream Deck, I can control my lighting from that as well. Should be cool too, because I can also do that with the Echo Dot. I got like 4 of them now. Echo Dot using the Alexa app, being able to control lighting and all of that shit with that. That is a pretty cool feature within itself. I don't know if I'm going to be using that in here, because conversation could lead to very awkward things in functions. I've heard some Twitch streamers possibly use it, not possible, but using their Alexa device and Super Chat come in, and it would command Alexa to do something, and Alexa would do it, and the streamer has no control over it because of the voice command. That voice, it's gonna give me nightmares. Oh, I plan on, especially because I wanted to get the voice mod to try to mimic Robert Englund's Freddy voice as much as I can once that costume comes. That's gonna be the main goal. Harley, you most certainly are one of us. Don't say it, don't write it, don't hear it. Don't open the door to him. See, none of that was in the original book. I don't know if I can do the Hannibal voice on here. Especially because I don't know what a good portion of the voices sound like. But I'm definitely going to be checking them out after the stream, though. I gotta create the Freddy voice. Because they have a creative voice kind of mod that I can do. Oh yeah, Joe, you've definitely been one of us for a super long time. Matt says, what's up, Chuck, Devin, Harley, JG, and everyone? Hope all are having a wonderful night. I most certainly am. Very much enjoying this Evil Dead movie. And just like looking at things from a different perspective than when I first watched it and just constantly compared it to the first movie. Anthony says, when is Warwick Davis returning as Leprechaun? As far as I know, he's not. He refused to come back for Leprechaun Returns, and as he said, he feels like he's done with that part of his career for now. What'd you miss? Me doing some voices. Like,
Welcome back, Play. With that being your name, would you like to play a game? Live or die. Make your choice.
Wonder if I can get copyrighted for that. Yeah, that's Evil Dead 2, where it throws him into the tree. And jumped out the window. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, where the fuck? Well, I guess, yeah, she does have a car. JG hates copyright. No, I don't necessarily hate copyright. Like, I understand the purpose of it. But I think in the sense of, like, doing a commentary movie, if I was to, like, have this movie in a small box, like, over here instead of a poster, then I should be able to be considered public, not public domain, but fair use, in my opinion. Because, I mean, it's small, I'm talking over it, you're not really, or even playing the film and having it being quiet as it is. I can deal with not having the sound for you guys on here, but like to have it like both ways where it picks up the sound so it copyrights you. If it picks up the visual, it copyrights you. There's reaction trailers that I haven't uploaded or kept on the channel because of getting a copyright notice about it, and I'm not going to keep it on the channel for that. Interesting enough, my one Friday the 13th video that I did with me in costume, where I first got the hood and I put that on, I got a copyright notice about it, but the composers of the part 3 music decided that they were actually, you know what? We're going to split things down the middle. You get some of the monetary cash from the ad revenue. We'll get some of the monetary cash from the ad revenue, and we'll keep it at that. So I never disputed it because, I mean, yeah, I use the music, so definitely all fair. And they were like, you know what? Fuck it. We can split it. You're in the video. You're kind of promoting the music. We provided the music, so split it down the middle. Hey, what's going on, Paris? Yeah, because like, we were just talking earlier about that, Paris. Like, I never realized until I had the headphones on when they first pulled up to the cabin that you could hear the demons like saying join. I never heard that before. And then one of the details that I noticed, now you would know this probably more than I would because you're an Evil Dead fanatic. You're into Evil Dead as much as I am the Friday the 13th. The shed, it's on the left side of the cabin, right? Because on here, it's on the right side of the cabin. I mean, granted, all this time, they could have probably moved it. And then, like, after watching the beginning, I realized the way they could fix this and finally fit it into what they wanted it to be, as a official sequel to the first movie because of all the tie-ins. What they could do is give us a whole movie prequel to explain exactly why all of this is different. Explain what happened to the family. Explain why the book looks different. Explain why the demons act different. Why the pages are different. Like, is this a completely different book entirely? Like, maybe when Ash destroyed the book in the first movie, maybe it released some kind of spirit that haunted the forest around the cabin. And when that family moved in, it ultimately possessed the girl, so to speak, and they burned her alive. And the only way to really capture or subdue the demonic force was to create a whole new book. Maybe that's it. But it's like, the way it is right now, there's so many differences, is just jarring to your average Evil Dead fan, because there's some similarities, but it's as many similarities as there is, it's also very vastly different. So it is on the left side. Okay, so I'm not going crazy. It is on the left side. I mean, my image is flipped, so it looks like I'm pointing to the right, but I'm pointing to the left. So, like, pretty much it's supposed to be on the left side. Like, I think you can even see it a little bit right over here. Matt says, the creepiest part to me in the remake is the dark sludge shit in the woods when she sees that. That's totally fucked up. Yeah, definitely. Like, what you mean, like when she comes out the mud, or the fucking worm thing that goes, ooh, excuse me, on the inside? Because I mean, that is just like sliding up there. I'm not a girl or woman or whatever, but that just seems like, ugh. The worm shit, yeah. But I can also see, like, if I'm in that situation and I'm crawling out of this sort of pond or whatever the fuck that is, and you look back, you hear your brother's voice, you look back and you see a whole nother figure coming out of the mud, that would be kind of jarring too. That'd be something that would be extremely fucking terrifying. Because don't get me wrong, there's some scary parts in this. There's this, as a horror movie, as a standalone horror movie, this is good. This is really good. But to slap the Evil Dead name on it and come out and officially say that this is an official sequel to the first movie, and having so many differences, it leaves a lot of people wondering how. How is this a sequel? Yeah, we see the Delta. We see a lot of callbacks going to the first movie. We see a lot of that. But there's also a ton of differences that nobody ever explains. We don't see the old woman again, which I think is a very, very, very missed opportunity. Because she could have been the exposition that could have possibly bridged that gap. Like, as it stands right now, there's so many differences that, yeah, it doesn't fit. Like, you would have to go back and make a whole nother movie regarding the family prior to this and making all of that fit. And I think with the way most of the fans felt about this, which is the main reason why we got Ash versus the Evil Dead, I don't think they're going to do that. Oh, yeah, Paris. I remember. That's why I even said at the beginning of the stream. Like, it's a great horror movie. But as it stands right now, as a standalone, it's a terrible Evil Dead movie. Now, the whole thing is, what makes it worse is it could be one of those films that, okay, erase everything you know about Evil Dead. This is the new Evil Dead. This is now how they work. They're setting forth new rules new ways to do things. Is I can kind of get on board with that. I can get on board with that creativity. But then once you get around to thinking that, and then you have the writer and director come out like, you know what? It's not an entirely new idea. This is essentially, for all intents and purposes, a new Evil Dead 2. Then everything that you felt that you were thinking like, okay, this could possibly work. Now you're just pretty much
It's like, are you fucking kidding me? How? There's so many things that just don't make sense. How? Why? Explain.
and I'm just pretty much like, there's almost really no way to explain. And then once you see the book, it's like, how the is it even remotely the same book? I mean, the don't even look the same. There's absolutely no face on the book. Why the beep? You censor it? I'm just fucking around. Or should I say I'm just around. That's pretty much it. Having fun with it. Quit beeping, my ears hurt. we gotta try to keep it clean for the kids. I don't know. That's how I like my showers. I like them hot. I'm boiling. I don't know. I don't know about taking a shower with clothes on though. But that's also a thing here too. Because the demon is inside of her, right? Why is it that the demon seems to take like half a day on top of fucking all the damage that it's trying to give to itself? But everyone else is almost like instantaneously turned. Did I catch what you said about Wolf Creek? Oh, let me go back, Matt. I tell you, I'm a Friday fan overall, but I tell you, that part in Wolf Creek when the girl stabbed... Oh yeah, I remember that. Where he's like digging in and he separates the spot. Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about with that. That's some shit. Okay, because that's another thing. I mean, did the tide kind of rise over time? Because if we know right, and this is a sequel to the first movie, that bridge was suspended pretty high in the first film. Or is this an entirely different bridge? Boo. Paris needs more subs. Yeah, I mean, definitely everyone go check out Paris too. Like, Paris got some good shit over there. Cosplays, masks, all kinds of good shit. Me spam the Michael Myers mask for Paris. Exactly. That's part of the issue, Paris. It creates more questions than answers. And I think if they were to make another movie, that's not going to be that's instead of rebooting everything again, stick with this. Let's go back to a prequel to this and let's answer some of those questions and then worry about a sequel with Mia afterwards. That would probably be the best way to do it. Unless they want to go with Pablo Kelly and Brandy. See, that was the kind of thing too. I would have probably have left Cheryl's voice out of that, just because the way the demons talk in the original series is not the same. Yeah, that's nasty though. That's nasty. I give him that on the gross factor. Okay, so they got a bolt on that one. Did they? I can't remember. Did they have a chain? Because I remember in the trailers, which it's not even in this movie, where she does the "We're gonna get you" from under, like inside the cellar. Don't they have chains on the cellar? You haven't seen any of the Evil Deads, Harley? Any of them? You do know they got Ash versus Evil Dead on Netflix. Yeah, the sad thing is that cellar scene kind of sold me on the movie. I wanted to see it after that because I felt like that was genuinely creepy. And then to find out that it's not even fucking in the movie is like terrible. See, I think a lot of also on here to really make up for everything, because I'm just like watching this. There should be so much that you could have did in this movie where because also look how fresh the book is too. The book is pretty fucking spry for being as old as it's supposed to be, which makes me think it's a completely different book, a newly forged book, so to speak. But there could have been so much mentally they could have done to these characters. But it was like once the demon shit started happening, they tried to run through so much and just gross people out as much as like they pretty much saw Evil Dead as being a splatterfest kind of movie. Like they kind of miss out on the psychological aspect on how they torture their victims, like how they did with Ash. But I guess in retrospect, if you're doing a checklist on everything that happens in the original Evil Dead, lore and looks and the way they act aside, if you're doing a checklist, this does kind of check a lot of the boxes off. Because, I mean, we have the sister that gets possessed, or the reading of the book, the sister that gets possessed. Can't remember if she's his girlfriend or not. But ultimately, we have a character being attacked in the bathroom like Scotty was. Even so much, I realize he kind of has the same shirt as Scotty too, doesn't he? A very similar one. Ooh, that would fucking hurt. Ooh. Yeah, the way the Deadites move on here also is very awkward. I'm not sure if there's something going on with Twitch, Matt. Because even when I get on there, and I have a high-powered computer. I have a very high-powered computer. I have some of the fucking... I'm like a tier away from like the fastest internet you could get. So it's not network or anything like that. So there's no way Twitch should be doing that to me. But yet it does. So I'm not sure if it's servers on Twitch's end. Then it's like, where's the Kandarian dagger? Like, they left the book there, but what's the dagger? There's so much they could have done with this, with the dagger. I mean, she can watch it if she wants to. But I think definitely for a horror fan, I mean, assuming that Harley is a massive horror fan, I think something like Evil Dead is definitely worth watching. I can't guarantee that you'll like it because, I mean, there are some gross out factors to Evil Dead. And there are some limitation as far as the makeup effects, especially in the first Evil Dead. Part 2 is a makeup effects dream. But part 1 does leave some things to be desired. Like, to be completely honest. Which is to be given for something as low budget as the first Evil Dead was. Yeah, there's no fucking way I'm going down there. There's no way I'm going down into that basement. Yeah, because I don't see a chain on there. So maybe that's why they took that out of the trailer. Matt says, by the way, it was filmed about an hour away from where I live. The original was filmed in Morristown, Tennessee. Didn't it burn down too? The original cabin? If I remember right. And then I know they had tourists that were coming over trying to steal bricks from the original grounds of where it was. Or were they trying to steal stuff from it while it was still standing before it burned down? What's going on, Skater Girl? Welcome back. We are currently 48 minutes into Evil Dead 2013. Mainly just the chimney stands. I'm surprised the cabin itself wasn't rebuilt there. Just because it's a famous landmark as far as like cinema. Where you can find the first Evil Dead movie. Is it on Netflix at all? I know for a while it was on Netflix. Let me check real quick. That's some shit to hear from your sister. Oh. Yes, it is on Netflix. Harley. The first film. They got the first Evil Dead in Ash vs. Evil Dead. Oh, I know. And that's not even including the TV show Ranger. Which the TV show has a different actress playing Linda too. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I guess because you're saying the girlfriend played by same girlfriend by three different actors. So that would include the TV show. Because Linda, I don't believe, shows up in Army of Darkness. Because, I mean, is that to be the dark one? Oh, you are right. She was an Army of Darkness. You are right. Because she has the short hair at the beginning. That is, yeah, you're right, Matt. You're Matt. Yeah, so yeah, 4 different actresses played Linda. Because that mean one Linda in Evil Dead 1, different Linda in Evil Dead 2, different Linda in Evil Dead Army of Darkness, and then Ash versus Evil Dead. We have Linda's head. So yeah, that's true. We have 4 different Lindas. Oh, that looks nasty. like squeezing the fucking bite or whatever that was, like just having the black little beads come out. Yeah, Harley, if you got any other streaming services like Amazon Prime or anything like that, let me know. Like I can point you in the direction of some really good horror movies that you might like. I mean, the virus from the crazies. That would be one thing. That would probably do that. Oh man, that fucking, how did it get that diseased? All right, so I must have missed the part where they put the chain on the cellar. Yeah, I remember this. I don't know if I could have done this. I couldn't have cut off my own hand, especially with a fucking turkey carver. Ooh, you gotta love the gore effects though. The gore effects on here are really good. I'm not sure if that would have been enough to blow out all the fuses unless that was supernaturally charged, but ugh. But it's like, shouldn't the hand still be alive like Ash's hand though? Oh, absolutely, Harley. Absolutely. Don't let me stand in your way. Go watch some Evil Dead. That's a obvious reference to Evil Dead 2. Supernaturally charged AG. You know it. Oh, yeah.
You know it. I'm all kinds of supernaturally charged. Even though
They're talking about bottoming the spoons too. Purification. We get the book can't be burned. So the book can't be purified by fire. So contradiction.
Hey, what's going on, Cat? I didn't even see you in here. Ooh. Fucking. Oh, I thought she shot him in the back. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude, they're like impaled in his fucking arm. Can you imagine how much that hurts? Ooh. Oh, shit. Oh, those are some fucking long ass nails, too. Oh my gosh. It's always good to get that reminder, Matt. I guess you didn't say she nailed it. Ooh! Oh, the fucking crowbar! Oh, man. Holy shit. You mean, Devin, you want me to say I am Iron Man? that's what's listed as the robot voice on there. I don't know if it sounds like it. Ooh. She's been disarmed. See, that's a little bit more Evil Dead-ish right there. That's a little bit more along the lines of Evil Dead, like really fucking with them mentally. Like I can kind of feel that. I need to say, join us in a deeper voice. I don't know how deep I can get it. Let me see.
Try that. Join us.
That sound better? Oh, nice, nice. Imagine how I'm going to be utilizing all of that. Music is my life. Dog will hunt. That's the only part I got really stuck in my head. Like, dog will hunt. Dog will hunt. Music is my life. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait a minute now. So their family owns the cabin, right? So did they ever give David and Mia's last name in this movie? Lick my plate, you dog dick! Because I'm seeing pictures of Mia and David all throughout the cabin, which seems to indicate, was the family that was there prior to that? Was that possibly some people trespassing? Is the old woman related to them? Because he says their mother, everyone thought was crazy. I mean, granted, the old woman is old. But I'm curious now. I'm very curious. Because in relation to the first film, and they owned the cabin, did the Nobis own the cabin? Or did Professor Nobi say he rented out the cabin? Because I was always under the impression that he owned it. Especially after part 2 with Annie. That's what Annie says, right? Annie says that, it's her father's cabin. But I guess you don't have to go with that because they never say that in part 1. What's going on, Random Aussie? How you doing? The old woman is old. You don't say. I mean, you know what I mean. Pretty much old enough to be their grandmother. Just by judging by looks alone. Not their mother. But I'm extremely curious in what their relationship is to the people at the beginning. Because obviously what happened at the beginning had to have happened in close proximity to this happening. Because I can't see all of this shit happening at the beginning. And then all of a sudden they pop there, but there's pictures. Like, I don't see their family coming there. Leave the dead cats and all that shit down in the basement. We're just going to set up some pictures. I don't see that happening. So as far as timeline goes and who the people are, it's very, very curious. Oh, that's a bit fucking creepy. That was a nice little shot there because you see the way her makeup is very reminiscent of better job done, but very reminiscent of Cheryl's because of how her face looked expanded. Cheryl has that a couple times in the first film, but obviously advancement in makeups that looks a bit better, but it was like a split second. More like bad storytelling. I mean, you're talking to the theory guy, Paris. So I'm always looking at it from a perspective of, can I connect that? Is there a possibility of making sense of that? So I instantly am thinking, like, how did we get here? The name is Alan. Okay. I mean, I didn't know if they ever mentioned their last name. Because, I mean, Paris, am I the only one that feels like the beginning scene kind of feels like it took place like 10 years prior to this? But I feel like with them having pictures, and it has to be fairly recently because look at their pictures that he's seeing of David and Mia. They look pretty recent. So, like, at what point did the beginning? I think definitely we have to. If they go back to this world at all, they need a prequel more than a sequel. Fuck, who knows? Maybe you can bring Bruce back for it. Have it where Bruce is that guy in town that refuses to go back to the cabin, and he tells his story. Because, I mean, I know Bruce doesn't want to get splashed with blood. That, as he said, like in the last episode when he's fucking freaking out and he's like, I'm tired of getting splashed with blood. You can tell he meant that from the heart. He's been saying that for a long time. But, I could probably see Bruce doing that in that kind of cameo role. Like being even as well as like a crazy, yeah, like, and he would end up like Ralph, like Crazy Ralph. Like being in the town, warning people not to go to the cabin. And you could have him in a prequel doing that and telling his story to the characters that it ultimately affects, leading into what the beginning here is. And then as Mia's going into town, they do as they originally wanted to do, where Mia gets picked up by Bruce's Ash. And they go back into town and Ash reiterates his story to Mia. And maybe there's some unfinished business there and she wants Ash to come back with her. But ultimately Ash is like, fuck that. No, I'm done. Like, Mia does look creepy with the fucking bag over her face. Ash versus Leprechaun? I don't know if Ash can win that one particularly. Leprechaun is a bit overpowered in that sense. And I think it may take more than a chainsaw to take down the Leprechaun. Unless it's the Leprechaun that doesn't like iron and Ash ends up using maybe some iron-made bullets, like pellets in the shotgun. You never know. What's going on, Shadow Ninjas? How you doing? JG runs from the Evil Dead. I mean, especially these ones. These ones they're awkward, but they're very violent. Maybe the chain on the saw's iron. Good point. Very good point. Which I did make some changes to my YouTube for response time. So let me know if you guys are noticing a difference as far as how I'm responding to you. Because I knew before it took like 20-30 seconds for me to like to respond to people. Yeah, I know you Karate Raptor. I remember you, Shadow Ninja. JG ain't scared. I mean, most demons, yeah. I'm kind of running. I believe me, the bridge being out is not... you said response is much better, I feel? Nice. But, the bridge being out wouldn't be enough for me. I'd take my chances in the current. Ty says, hey, this can't be the last Evil Dead stream. You're still going to try to pink fuck. I mean, yeah, I'm going to try that. But I mean, it's the last Evil Dead movie. Because we still got the the Let's Talk Evil Dead coming Tuesday. Okay, now that's the thing that also bothers me, which I know Paris and a bunch of other Evil Dead aficionados are going to really have an issue with. How the fuck is she all healed? The demon leaves her, but it leaves her body whole? After all of the damage it took? Fucking bubbled, burned skin, cutting the tongue, and all of that? Like, all of that's gone? Really? Like, that's kind of weird. JJ says, go for it while up the stream without a paddle. You want to live like Jason did in part 2? I mean, sometimes isolation does pretty well. Oh yeah, I'll give you some credit for the idea, Ty. I'll definitely give you some credit. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like once she came back to life, you knew she was the one that ultimately was going to survive. Even though they tried their best visually to make him Bruce-esque. And not like Bruce that we know, but just visually, blue shirt and so forth. Ooh. Hmm. But I mean, technically, well, let's say it like this. If that worked on her, technically, if any of their friends had died, couldn't they have done the same thing and released their friends from the demons? So she really didn't have to kill her brother for any reason or let her brother die. You just would have probably have had to sacrifice the friend and then do the same thing to the brother that ultimately he did for her. So, I mean, theoretically, in this particular situation with Evil Dead, nobody really has to die. And then if they would have did that, well, wait a minute. Because that kind of also doesn't make sense, because if we go to the girlfriend that cut her arm off, now, if we are regenerating all injuries here at the time of death, he just shot her other arm off and she just curled up on him and supposedly died. Shooting an arm off while you do lose blood does not constitute immediate death. So if the arm got shot off and the spirit left her, shouldn't it have healed everything? She had both her arms back? Or would the blood loss from cutting the one arm off would have been too much and her body died completely anyways? Because granted, with Mia, they would have had to, as they did with her, they made it where she momentarily died of suffocation and they were able to use the makeshift defibrillator to bring her back. But didn't it also say that the main demon, the abomination or whatever, also needs 5 souls? But if hers was released, does she still count as the 5th soul? Yeah, I'd probably be worried, Ty. I mean, where the fuck are you going to drive to? You already know the bridge is out. I can't remember. Didn't they have a dog? Didn't the dog die? Now, what would have been a really cool tie-in with this is, let's say they connected this a little bit closer to the Evil Dead franchise, and it directly connected to Ash versus the Evil Dead. All of this happened prior to Ash versus the Evil Dead. Different book, different everything. Connects to Ash versus the Evil Dead. And what if, because this was a different book, that the abomination actually turned out to be Ruby? But she never killed her. You would have had to have obviously had Ruby survive. And all of these characters die. Maybe she survives, but Ruby doesn't know. And ultimately, Ruby rises from this point in time and needs the actual Necronomicon. And then goes off hunting down Ash. I feel like there's so many ways you could have went about this. Ooh. Channeling our inner Jason. Ooh. Ooh, that slice. It's actually an island made by Kandarian demons. The dog did die? Okay. Must have been like when I was like talking and stuff like that, because I started going on certain tangents here and there throughout. Ooh. Fuck that. Like, as soon as she fell, why not like shove the fucking chainsaw in her face? Dude, if she's that fucking strong. Ooh. Muffin can teleport when she died. Maybe it's the ghost of Muffin. Maybe Muffin's the next avatar of the Death Curse. Ooh. Oh, she's pulling a Chucky. She's pulling that shit off. Oh, that looks so fucking painful. Oh my fucking god. Ooh. Okay. Only problem here, though. In a movie that you have told us repeatedly that the Deadite possession in this movie is done through fluid and blood transfers, and you just had a person yank their own fucking hand off with bloody stump shoved into the handle part of the chainsaw, and you shove it into the face of this master Deadite, and the blood is pouring all over you, getting into that wound, getting into your mouth, getting into your eyes. Shouldn't she be repossessed? Or because she was brought back, does she have natural immunity? Does she get like chosen one type status? When someone breaks their fingernails off, try when someone's pulling out teeth in movies. That is just as bad, Matt. There's a reason I stayed away from the movie The Dentist for a long time. That and eyes. Everyone knows I have a thing with the eye thing. Doesn't scare me, but it's like, ooh, I can't look at that. That's kind of, it's very harsh. JG's chosen one status. All right. That was Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead. It will definitely be a topic of discussion, no doubt, come Tuesday. Hey, what's going on, Machete? You missed the movie, man. But let me welcome you properly.
Hello, Machete. Welcome to the stream, where we talk horror, whether it be movies or video games. What is your favorite? Make your choice.
Ty says if Batman had to go to the bathroom as he's on patrol, where does he go in Gotham? I believe the comic books state that he has a filtration system inside the suit, so he never really has to take it off for that reason. My thing is, if he does number 2, does it wipe for him too? Because that's some nasty shit. But I could be wrong though. I could have been just a throwaway line. Oh, my whole thing goes back to the movie from Lucio Fulci, Matt. The movie Zombie, where the girl gets grabbed by the hair and pulled into a wooden. They break open some wooden blinds, and one of them are like sharply sticking outwards, and the zombie slowly pulls her eye first into it. I mean, that would be the indication to. As someone who's worn a batsuit, a one-piece batsuit, with the muscles and everything put inside, it's not an easy thing to get in and out of, especially if you're sweating. So I would assume if that translates over to comic book worlds, it would probably be much of the same thing. Don't leave us, JG. I'm sorry. But I gotta set some other stuff up. Especially tomorrow, my Stream Deck is coming, so I definitely want to make sure that I can get all of that set up and be able to use everything to the fullest extent. I can't wait. I got Stream Deck coming tomorrow. The next thing will ultimately end up being a capture card that will ultimately go inside my computer. So that way, once they ever restock the Nintendo Switches, as well as with my Xbox, I can use that hooked directly up into my computer, and I can play with you guys on stream on Xbox and Switch when I get a Switch. So that definitely helps. There's some other upgrades that I'm going to be making electronically wise throughout. I do want to get a new lighting system that's going to hook up not only to a Stream Deck, but I don't know, maybe I might get some kind of a Alexa app program to be able to control things for certain light shows, especially when it comes to got the idea of when someone does a super chat or something like that, being able to blink lights all around, trying to make a big deal out of every super chat, every membership join and stuff like that. I got a couple of ideas that I really want to implement going forward, and it's just going to be a bunch of upgrades as we go. But I can look at a few comments before we end up heading out. See Devin already starting up the song. And also, again, because today was the final commentary for Evil Dead. And like I said, we'll be doing the Evil Dead talks going on Tuesday. Tomorrow, we will be back on the Evil Dead grind. And hopefully, maybe Saturday, we'll play some Man of Medan. I'm definitely wanting to finish that for you guys. But also, as Stream Elements has so graciously reminded me, we do have Streamloots packs for you guys to buy. I believe every pack holds 3 cards. Within those 3 cards they're giving out randomly. Some of them contain challenges, some of them contain cheers. Like there's a dab card for you guys in there to give us dabs in the chat. Gives you a nice little song that plays while it's on there. Which if you guys want, I can show you a couple of the things that you can do. Let me jump over to my gaming part. Yes, Kat, I have a Switch Lite. I'm trying to get the Switch, the actual console that actually hooks up. Because with the Switch Lite, you can't hook it up to a TV. It doesn't come with a dock, and it doesn't come with anything to actually connect it to a dock. And I need an actual Switch console that's able to take an HDMI and plug it into my computer as an in. Because, I mean, as with most computers, a lot of them are going outwards, like out into the monitors and so forth like that. So that's why I need the capture card. I need to hook that, install that into my computer, and be able to hook up any of the consoles going into my OBS and being able to play it as if it's just directly on the computer. Oh, I'm on the wrong mode. So let me jump over the Streamloots real quick, show you guys, test a couple of things here, let you guys see what we can do. Which it looks like I have 2 gifted packs remaining. If anybody wants to jump over to the community tab and grab those up, it should be under the free gift ones. I believe one under my last post. So if you want to check it out and hold on to them and play them for the next stream, definitely be sure to do so. I should make a Devin challenge or something. Well, funny thing is with that Devin is, as I said, I can make cards on there too. So for anybody throughout the month, every month, if people are buying the packs, the person who buys the most packs will be able to not only have a card named after them, they are also able to name the challenge, as long as it stands within reason. I will make a card specifically for you. It will be like, let's say if Devin does it, it'll be either the Master of Fear card or the Devin card. and I will add that into my packs for people to possibly get when they purchase them. Something I'm going to do for all you guys. If you want the packs, feel free to buy them, and that will end up happening. But let me jump over where my packs at. Where my packs? Oh, creative dashboard. I guess I kind of. All right. So the first one, because I know Kat and Devin really like this one. Oh, they would really like this one. There we go. That's what you do if you want the dabs. Let me play that again without the without all of the stuff. How long is the loot for? You hold on to them for as long as you want. Once you play the card, though, the card gets burned, and then it's no longer part of your deck. But you can play any of the cards any of the time. I'm playing DVD, and like we're pretty much here. Like, we'll play that again.
Dark wants some dabs in the chat.
It's like how it says JG Dark wants some dabs in the chat. That's how it end up going. And then you just hit him up with the dabs. Although it's not supposed to freeze like that. Pretty much like that. See, like fucking Dwight. And then, what else we got? Particularly this one, where I have to stand up in a chair for a total of 1 minute. I'm getting so many copyrights
stand up for 1 minute while playing.
So there's stuff like that, and then there's what's another one? What's another good one? Commit to the next chase. ASMR for 15 minutes. Oh, 15 seconds. Sorry. There's ones where you could choose my killer. Ones where you could choose my killer loadout. Making me drop an item, no vaulting for 10 seconds, freeze for 5 seconds, no sprinting for 5 seconds, scare alert, another scare alert that pretty much mimics the sound of the boat from the swamp map. Like that. Which especially, the way it could work, it could really fuck with me. Because then there's also, if I'm listening and I'm trying to see, I'm not hearing anybody or I'm on a gen, I can hear something like this. And it's going to make me think that Michael Myers is coming. There's nothing that you see that pops up on screen. So it's making me think that Michael's coming. What else we got? The Wraith sound card. So let's say I'm trying to listen out for the killer, and the killer's actually like the trapper or something like that. But I hear this. Making me think it's the Wraith. So I'm looking for the Wraith or something like that. Or if it's Ghostface or the pig. I'm waiting to see the invisible form of the Wraith, and at the same time I'm getting stalked by Ghostface. So just some examples of how you can really fuck with me with Streamloots. And especially because I did lower the prices. The original prices that they wanted for the packs themselves. Let me go to the packs. They wanted originally like $250 for the packs. I lowered, this is for single packs. I lowered single packs down to $1.50 if you want to play any. Pack of 5 is $5. So you do save some money by getting the 5-pack. And of course, $10 for a pack of 10. So you do still save some money if you guys want to participate in the packs. And then after so many packs, I can actually do giveaways of these packs as well. So definitely, if you guys are interested, you want to really fuck with me as far as actually really fucking with me in Dead by Daylight, this is the way to do it. And I am completely obligated to follow all of these challenges. There is one that's like, you know, where you can name your own challenge. Keep that within reason. Like, I'm not going to get naked on stream or anything like that. Just keep everything in line if you get that card. But for the most part, as far as challenges, taking my hands off the keyboard, fucking put my hands up in the air, throwing some shit across the room may actually end up happening. So definitely feel free to grab those if you can. I will drop the link in the chat. The link is also on my community tab. Oh shit, I'm on the wrong thingy. There we go. Take off the bandana. That could be one of the challenges, Deb. That could be one of the challenges named after you if you want. If you become the highest beneficiary of that. I think that's the correct word. Send you on your messenger? Yeah, I'll definitely do that too as well, Matt. Matter of fact, I'll do that directly after the stream. But I did also... Oh, you say you got it on the computer? Gotcha. Yep. Oh, I'm good, Ansley. I'm good. Just getting ready to wrap some things up. We just finished watching Evil Dead 2013. Getting ready to head out and getting set for some DBD tomorrow. So pretty much, again, if you guys do want to fuck with me during that whole thing, feel free to get as much as you can from Streamloots. And like I said, whoever buys the most gets a card named after them, and they get to name the challenges. They get to put in the sound effects. I'll work with you through all of that. Make it happen. But I'm going to wrap up here. I'm determined to be a producer for JG. I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it. Although that does get you in my producer credits in tier 3, Matt. Tier 3 of the memberships. JG, put some shaving cream in your bandana and put it on. Hey, if that becomes a challenge in one of the cards, I will do it. I will do it. I have no problem doing it at all. But you got to buy them packs, Ranger. You got to buy them packs. But all right, I am going to head out. You guys have a great night. See you tomorrow for some DBD and possibly some more speculation and who the new killer is. Keep hearing more and more of Jason Voorhees, but we'll see. But you guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, I am JG Darhk, and thanks for watching.
They wrap you up in bloody sheets, drop you 6 feet underneath, they put you in a new box, they cover you up with dirt and rocks.
About a week, and then your coffin begins to leak, and the worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. They eat your eyes, they eat your nose as you begin to decompose. A slimy beetle with demon's eyes chews through your stomach and out your sides. Your stomach turns.
Good night, all. Especially to you, Nicholas. I'll be watching you.
A slice of bread, and that's what you'll eat when you're dead. And the worms crawl out, the worms crawl in. The worms that crawl in are lean and thin. The ones that crawl out are fat and stout. Your eyes fall in and your hair falls out. Your brain turns into maggot pie. Your liver river starts to liquefy, and for the live